Good evening and welcome to the Bellingham Library's Bellingham is Open to Business Workshop, Graphics and Design. I'm Bernadette Riva, the Library Director, and with me tonight are Cecily Christensen and our presenter, Bev Pierce. This program is made possible by a Federal Institute of Museum and Library Services grant through the Library Services and Technology Act. The grant is administered by the Mass Board of Library Commissioners. We welcome you, the participants who are joining us in person and on Zoom. This program is part of a series of events that the library is offering over the next few months to assist Bellingham area businesses to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Tonight's presenter is Bellingham resident and trainer Beverly Pierce of Acuity Learning and Technology. Beverly is an energetic trainer, speaker, and an instructional designer with nearly 2 decades of experience. Bev will be leading tonight's workshop, as well as a few others, including 2 workshops in April on Google Workspace and Microsoft Office, 2 in May on conducting business in a virtual world and business resources, and a final workshop in June on using video for advertising. Our next workshop will be on April 4th, and it'll be presented by Kay Locke-Colt, and it's entitled Soft Skills, covering topics like conflict resolution and compassionate listening. All who registered for tonight's event will be sent a link to our booklet that lists all of these workshops and more, as well as an online survey about the workshop that we hope you will complete. In addition to these workshops led by our local instructors, the grant has enabled us to purchase access to online courses from Universal Class on a variety of topics from accounting to yoga. And there are dozens of courses appropriate for businesses, including how to write a business plan, accounting and bookkeeping, leadership and supervision, human resources, marketing, and computer software training. We have also purchased books and ebooks, an online resource called A to Z Databases for Marketing and Sales Leads, and a Meeting Owl Pro, which you can borrow from the library to host your own hybrid meetings. It's a camera microphone system that you can attach to your laptop, so you can host meetings like we're doing now with people in the room and people at home at the same time. And last but not least, on April 29th from 9 a.m. to noon, we are hosting a Bellingham Business Expo where Bellingham businesses can get a free table to share information about their products and services with the Bellingham community. All of this information is on the library website at bellinghamlibrary.org. And click on the menu called Business Resources to access it. And now I'd like to turn the meeting over to Bev Pierce, who is going to talk about graphics and design.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining me today. A couple of repeat customers. Thank you. Thanks for coming back. So yeah, my name is Bev Pierce. I am a little about a mile away from the library and lived here for quite some time. And I am a small business owner. I started my small business last year. And I've been doing technology training and curriculum design and instructional design for many years. And tonight we're going to talk about creating graphics. Tonight's session was kind of designed to be a hands-on thing. So I don't really have a formal presentation to show you, but I am going to share my browser. I'm going to show you the different tools that we can, and just a few of the different tools that we can use to create designs, logos, flyers, any kind of graphics that you might want to use in your business. I guess the point of today's session, in my mind, is that you don't really have to be a graphics designer to be able to make some decent graphics. I've used Canva. We're going to look at Canva today. We use FlixPress. There's VidQuick. There's a few different ones that we're going to show you today. I'm hoping by the time we get to our FlixPress, which is one of my favorites, their website was down earlier, so I'm hoping by the time we get there, that one will come back up so we can show you that one. But really, with tools that most of us have access to that really won't cost us anything, we'll be able to create some nice little graphics, flyers, and documents with graphics for our business. So that's what I think what I'd like to do first is show you some demonstrations or some examples of some of the things that I've created. So let's share. Let me open my, I'm gonna open some of the, I'll open some of these and then I'll share them with you. I'll make sure I open first.
So just so you guys know, the banner that is behind Bev that says Bellingham is Open for Business, that I actually designed in Canva.
Oh, cool.
That's a Canva design.
So Canva is great. I think Canva is great. It's one of my favorites. I think if you look or ask around, this is going to be a very, very popular one. So I volunteer for Bellingham Friends of Music. Let me let you guys in the room see this. My two monitors here. Let me drag it over to the big monitor so that our folks in the room can see it along with you guys at home. Oh, for goodness sakes, here we go. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully you guys are seeing that. I volunteer, my kids go to school here in the system, right? So I volunteer for Friends of Music. I volunteer for some of the youth organizations, and Friends of Music needed a new logo this year. So I said, hey, let's try out Canva. So I created this with Canva. I have, like I said, just going to show you a few examples, and then we'll go in and actually get into Canva and a couple of other of these tools and show you how we do it. Some of the nice, easy ways to do it. So if you look at here, another thing that I've been doing recently, let's open this one, is my husband and I are playing an acoustic duo. I think I might have mentioned that last week. Of course, these are all going to open up in separate windows here. So unfortunately, I should have, I should have thought about that and put it into like in that one nice PDF. Would have been nice after that. So I created the logo, and
That is like the best name.
isn't that great?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I didn't steal it. I borrowed it. Well, I used it with permission. So I created the logo and this business card. So let's see if we can, using Canva. And it didn't take very long. So that's one of the things that I'll show you when we get into it. Like, so they give you all sorts of nice little templates that you can use. You can create business cards, you can create logos, you can create presentations, you can create flyers, you can create your social posts. So there's all sorts of like pre-made templates that you can use, or like I said, you can create something from scratch using stock images, your own images. And that's another thing I'll show you today. And after tonight, I'll send again to you, Bernadette, just a document. All of the resources that I show you, talk about tonight, I'll put it in a document so you can have the links, because there's lots of resources for you to get images, royalty-free images. You don't have to pay for them, and things like that.
Canva has a bunch all in itself. There's a lot of free ones, pretty good pictures in Canva by itself.
Yeah, you're right. And we're gonna show you a PowerPoint, because PowerPoint, a lot of people use PowerPoint or Google Slides, very similar, right? You can, if you're comfortable using those, you can use those to create. And they also have some nice built-in graphics and designers that'll suggest some design ideas for you that kind of, when you're first starting to play around with it, it's kind of cool to get the suggestions.
Canva, I was a publisher user, which because that's what I used for decades, actually. Yeah. But a lot of it is there's a lot built into Canva that just makes it faster and easier.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And the learning curve, I think, is much smaller for that one. Adobe is another one. And that one we'll look at. I'm not going to probably spend as much time on that one because that's a paid tool, and I want to focus on the stuff that we can all get without having to pay for. And the learning curve on that one is actually a little bit larger than some of the other tools that I think most of us would probably use. So, all sorts of things you can create. So I'm going to close these, and that's going to stop. And also, I am going to show you some examples of some things that, like some animated graphics, which are always really good to catch people's attention, like for your social stuff. So let me close that. Open them all at one time. All right, so I opened everything all at one time. Yes. The only thing is, let me open the video media player first. It's really slow. Get it onto the big screen. I'll make it bigger after I share. All right, so like this again, something I did for one of the youths. No real music or sound, but because we made it for social and we wanted it to get a lot of visual, we made it a short video. And we did this using Canva. Okay, so, and like, I think that one's a little bit longer maybe than some of the other ones. Hopefully when I switch to this next one, it's not going to stop the share. And these are some of the ones that I use like in some of the other classes that I teach. Like I teach for Association of Realtors, and I teach some of their classes. This one's got sound, and hopefully you guys are still seeing that. It's really slow. I don't know if that's, I don't know why. I put a share when people are entering, and it took me like not even 5 minutes. All sorts of short, sweet, and it gets someone's attention. And even if there isn't any sound, I think those of you that were here last week, we talked about how just the video just catches people. And with that one, I incorporated, text. So they didn't really even need the sound. All right, so let's take a look at how we can do that. Okay. All right, so hopefully you guys were able to see those that were not here in the room. I think you guys saw that.
Yeah. If you guys at home have any problem hearing us sing, just unmute and let us know you're having difficulty, because we're assuming you can see everything and hear everything.
So far so good.
Okay, great.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you. So again, there's all sorts of different tools that you can use to create. So I'm going to start with the most basic, or well, kind of what I think is basic. You should say,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I brought my glasses this time. Oh, good, thank you, Sharon. So let's share our. Oh, let's get it. I have to say it's a little bit of a challenge. Oh, I should have done that. All right, move that. So it's kind of a challenge when I usually have my stuff side by side. User.
And if you'd like, we can get us something. You probably don't have a right adapter.
Actually, I have one that has like 15 different ports on it. All right. So a lot of times will use this because I've been using PowerPoint for a long time, and I've got it open probably pretty much every day. So I can do simple things with this. So if I have, let's say I have my company's logo. How many of you guys already have a logo for your business? Anybody? So you were thinking about starting, right? You haven't quite gotten there yet, but so at some point you're going to have like probably a logo. It could just, I think I told you guys a lot of what I've done in the past has been real estate related, and in that field, the picture is the person is a logo, right? The person's face. So it could be your image. It could be a letter. I see like the nice calligraphy letters. It could be anything, whatever your logo is. There are a few different ways you can try creating it right in here, or you can insert whatever images you want. So with PowerPoint, what I'll usually do is I will start with a blank slate, because you use PowerPoint and slides is very similar. It'll suggest presentation layouts, because that's ideally what this is for, or what they created it for. But I'll start with a blank slate here, and then I will go and I will insert. I can insert shapes. I can insert images. I can draw. So there's all sorts of things that I can do here. So if I look at the shapes, I mean, I can do circles and rectangles, whatever kind of, so maybe I want to make, hey, it's blue, which is kind of like my. So my company color is a little bit darker than that. So I can change the images of these. So I've got my fill here. I mean, the colors on these, I should say. So if I want to, try a darker blue, I can do that. Oops, that's not there. Okay, I can change the outline on it if I want an outline. So, whatever I want to do here. And then I can put text inside of it if I choose to put some text inside of it. If I can look, I need to be able to spell my own company name. It's a problem. Or I can use the word art. So if I want, there's my regular text, right? If I highlight all of this text, oh my goodness, I'm having a heck of a time tonight. It's been one of those days, I'll tell you what. So I could, I can do some, word art. I can make it look a little bit. Let's see how I did that. Of course, now take that out of there and insert my other one. I'm not sure why. But here's my word art, which I can, this is like an object that I can resize. Now I am going to have to change the text. When you put text on a PowerPoint, it inserts it in a box, and then the box auto fits for whatever size of the object or text that you put inside of it. So if I want this to fit inside, I have to make it smaller, and then I can resize my box and move it into my other shape if I want to. Oh. It's gonna be, you gotta make sure you know what you're selecting. Did you notice that each object has its little outline, right? And I grabbed this one instead of this one. Now there's a lot of stuff I could, PowerPoints, I can group these together, I can move them together, whatever I want to do. But there's some, real simple. And then if PowerPoint has this designer. And then PowerPoint will give me some suggested designs if I want to. Now this is pretty basic. This will do this for anything. So like if I insert my own images, or if I put text or whatever it is I want to do in here, I can.
Are the things on the top toolbar designs too?
So these are design themes. So yeah, so if I apply one of these, it'll apply different colors and font styles, and these will apply to anything that I insert. So like if I were going to be doing a full presentation and I insert a new slide, it's going to inherit that design scheme. So all the colors and all the fonts and everything are going to match throughout that presentation, or throughout whatever collateral you're going to create. I'm using my undo option. The undo and redo, right? Those are really cool little options on your.
I call undo the button you will grow to love.
Oh my goodness, yes. You gotta love that undo button. Absolutely, absolutely. So I could do stuff super simple, but like with the again, I can insert my own images. So I'm just going to create another slide on here. So here, under pictures, I can insert my own images, or I can find images, either stock images or online images. So when you go online, it will allow me to search. So let's see, what do I want to look for? Let's say I want to glow. So my search bar is at the top. That's where I type that in. Now it usually defaults to this Creative Commons. I find it depends on what I'm searching for, whether or not I get better results with or without it. So I'll always try it with and without it. So like if I have some, I want this globe here, I can search, I can find them all. Now I do have to, pay attention, in some cases to copyrights, because if I'm using these to generate income, I have to make sure it's not copywritten or I have permission to use it. And they'll be, if let's say I choose one of these, I can select it and then insert it.
That's a weird picture.
Oh boy, what's happened there?
I think is that the picture?
I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's just not done downloading, because it's
Yeah,
looking all right over here under the designer.
Yeah.
So you can see the designer because it's still turned on. And by the way, I got that under the design tab, right? And that's how I turned it on. You can see it on the home tab too once it's on. But I don't know what that's all about. I think it's just
That's weird.
yeah. It is. But if I don't like the
So
ones
you click
that,
on one of the design ideas and it change it?
let's say, let's find out.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can use the designer, the built-in designer, I can use the images, and typically you're gonna get, usually it's gonna have some text at the bottom of it, if there's a copyright attached to it. Now here again, if I could come into my insert, now maybe I'm gonna wanna insert my company name here. So I'm gonna I have to insert text in a text box. So maybe I wanna put it in over here. So I'm going to click there. It creates the box, tiny box, right, until I start typing. So, oh, look what's going on. Uh-oh. It's regular, it's black text, right? So I can't see it. So I'm going to select it all. And I'm going to come up here to my text color. And I'm going to choose white. And then all right, so now I can change the size of that, but watch. Because again, it's going to auto fit the text, right? So if I want this to be bigger, I am going to change the text now. Notice when I I only have one there highlighted, so I want to make sure I highlight it all. My triple click. And then my little toolbar will come up, so I should be able to adjust the size of the text there. All right. Same thing, right? I want to move. Oh, see, look at that. I'm showing all the downfalls today. So I have to, I want to move this down is what I was trying to do here. So I want to make sure I'm moving this down. Oh, guess what I didn't do? Boy, we're having a wonderful
You
day.
didn't log in?
Oh, you didn't plug in. So it's telling me, guess what? Your battery's going to die in a second. Sorry, guys. All right. So I can move that wherever I want it. I can change, whatever the text size, I can highlight, I can do all sorts of things with this. And again, if I want to, see if PowerPoint has any other suggestions for me now that I've added my company name, you can see all the different suggestions it's going to make for me. Don't like that one. And if I wanted, let's say I want to use,
I like that.
I do like this one too. All right, so I want this one, right? So maybe I want this to be my logo or my social media cover image. All right. So first of all, when I'm thinking about social media, I have to think about like what do I want to use it for? Do I want to use it for my profile picture, or do I want to use it for the cover photo? Because they're two different dimensions. You want to create them, you want the profile picture to be like more of a box image or a portrait image, right? Versus your cover photo, which is going to be like a banner, right? So it's going to be wider and shorter. So depending on what I'm going to use this image for, that might depend on how I save it. But if I go to the the design here, the slide size, I can change it to standard or widescreen. All right, and of course that applies to you if you're doing presentations too. So typically, if you're going to present on a screen like we're looking at here today, I would do a 16.9, and I would leave it this way if I'm going to do a banner image. Okay, so here I can. What I usually do is I will save the PowerPoint and then save it as an image. Because if I want to change it later, I can open the PowerPoint. The image is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to, I'll have to use a photo editor. So what I'll usually do is I'll save this as my PowerPoint. We'll give it a name. I'll just stick it in my downloads. And so I can call it, BPD cover. So now I have the PowerPoint, so I can always go back and modify the PowerPoint. But obviously, Facebook, Instagram, my other social platforms, they're not going to see it. They're not going to let you upload a PowerPoint. So I can't make a PowerPoint my cover image. So I can also save it as an image. So here, I can save it as a JPEG or a PNG or a TIFF, however you want it. A lot of time, I will often do it as a PNG, but again, it might depend on where you're putting it in. I mean, Facebook isn't probably going to care too much, about the difference between a JPEG or a PNG. You might want a PNG for, flyers if you're going to print, or digital flyers. You might want a PNG.
It's a higher quality.
It's higher quality. Yeah. So if I want to save it as a PNG, that's it. Just save that. It's under the file type here, and then I can save it. So now I have the image. Oh, it's asking me which slides. Okay, because remember I created 2 slides here. I just want this one for now. All right, so now that's an image file that I would be able to upload into my Facebook cover page, or use it. I could use it anywhere, really. I could use it as a background image, right? I can create, if you use PowerPoint or Google Slides to do presentations frequently for customers and things like, you can create a PowerPoint template using the image. Okay, this one's a little bit busy. I probably wouldn't use the globe. And if I did use the globe, I would change the opacity or opacity. Never know how to quite pronounce that word. It's opacity or opacity. But if I look here and format the background, okay. They don't even call it opacity. They call it easy. It's easier here, the transparency. So if I adjust the transparency of the image, oh, did I not? Did I? Oh, I had the, no, sorry. I have to do it here. Picture transparency, sorry. I thought I had the picture, but I had the background. So you see if this transparency here, I might be able to do it, do something with the transparency and make it a better looking background. But then I can create a template out of this so that all my presentations are going to look the same. And, that's something that with the branding, I think we mentioned it last week when we were talking about the, branding. You want all of your marketing, all of your collateral to be consistently branded. So, you might want to do that. And if I wanted to create a PowerPoint template, it's very easy to do that too. And I don't know if we probably shouldn't we don't necessarily need to go into that in this class. But if anybody wants to know, certainly reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you about that. So you can do real simple stuff with PowerPoint. And also I wanted to show you how to insert your absolutely.
So if you were using this in a presentation, would those grid lines show?
No, that's a very good question. Thank you for asking that question. I have those on.
Okay.
Okay, so here under my view, I have the grid lines and the guides on. And that helps me line everything up.
Right.
So thank you for asking that, because I'm so used to seeing them, I kind of forgot about that. Thank you very much for asking that. But yeah, that helps me line stuff up. So if I put in, let's say I want to put in one of my own images here. Got lots of images. Let's see, let's put in my little beach image. No, they're totally unrelated. I got the globe and now I got the beach, but just to grab them quickly. So I put one here, right? And you can see how these guidelines are going to help me like just line them up. And then if I have more than one image on the page, it'll actually,
You can make this.
yeah, in fact, it'll do it with the text box as well. It'll show me if I'm lined up, or it should show me if I've got everything lined up. Of course, I might not be able to see it.
Why is that text box bigger? It's no longer doing the auto fit, or is that?
It should be,
Okay, so
it
you
should,
did that.
yeah.
You brought that down and you could.
And so it usually will tell you, give you the red lines. I'm not seeing them right now. But it'll usually tell me when they're
Is that
lined up
orange thing
together.
part of the?
That's part of the design.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's part of the design.
Okay.
So that's what those do. They help me line them up and make sure that they're all even and stuff like that. All right. So that's that. Let's look at Canva. All right, so let's do a new share for you. Put it on the big screen for everybody else. All right, so this is Canva, and there's a lot of things you can do here in Canva. I also have open here a few of the websites that you might like to visit to get free images. So, and I will, like I said, I'll put these links all in a document and I'll send it to Bernadette, and Bernadette will email it to everybody. So that you can have links to all these. So these are all free. Most of them also have like a paid version too. So they have like thousands and thousands of images that are available to you under the free account, but then there'll be, even additional images and additional downloads available if you buy, have a paid account. So the free accounts will allow you to do, certain number of downloads or a certain library of images. And then of course, like I said, the paid one will give you access to more. So I can search for anything I want. And you can see it'll give you some trending stuff. Look, Silicon Valley Bank. That's an interesting one. What do we? That makes me want to click on that. Like, what are we looking for when we come up to Silicon Valley Bank? Silicon Valley Bank.
A lot of people want images of Silicon Valley.
Very interesting. But you can see how many images came up with that. You wouldn't think. You think how many are really?
A lot of San Francisco.
Right? Yeah. And this one will actually also like link me out to other sites too. Like if I want to find other images. So I'll be able to, take a look at that. Take a look at those images. All right, I can save them. I can share them. I can download them.
Are they free?
Yeah. Yes. Now, not everything you see there, and most of these sites are very, very similar. I'll show you a couple other ones too. But here I'm able to download this for free. And this one isn't even going to make me create an account. Now, notice that this one is telling me that I have to give a shout out. Okay, so I have permission to use it, but I have to give credit to Kevin Chen because he was the photographer and he's the one that submitted it.
So in theory, that copy that you could just copy that and that copies his information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
And that copies it. So now, I can go over it. I can put it right under the image, or if I'm using it in Facebook or whatever, I can put the alternate text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give him credit.
So if I want to, so let's say, well, PowerPoint's already open here. Let's go back over here for a second. Let's get this. And let's say I want to insert that. So I will take that image. Okay, now what I would probably do is I would insert, oh boy, what is going on here today? Okay, so right here, so there's the alt text, that's for accessibility. So I don't want to leave, I want to leave that alone, right? Now I can, I'm just going to resize this a little bit. I could actually just insert a little text box, right? Put it right here under the image. And copy that in there. Just like that. And I mean, I don't even need to leave it that big either, I can make it a little bit smaller, as long as somebody can read it. I'll be able to throw that right on there. Make it, then again, I gotta make it smaller by doing this. I don't want to make it so that somebody needs a microscope or a magnifying glass, not a microscope. But, what's that?
If it was a colors match, you probably.
Yeah, I would put it on top. Yes, is it on top of the image, you mean? Yes, I could. But like Bernadette said, yeah, I would have to change, because see, I'd have to change the
The
text.
only place that could go is right in the middle on the top, right?
Yeah.
And even then it's not, yeah, I guess it could go there, but that's not, you just make it a little smaller.
Yeah, I mean, if I put it down
Here's your
here,
photo.
if I made it all white, I could probably put it down here,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
come in here and select all and made everything white.
Yeah.
I could do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
So, and there are a lot of these sites are all going to be similar, right? Oh, you know what? I just realized that my folks at home didn't see the PowerPoint part that I just said.
Oh.
Sorry, folks. So here's what I did. Oh my goodness gracious.
Did they message you?
No,
No.
but it just dawned on me that it's sharing the window, not necessarily the screen. So this is what we just did. So I just inserted that from my downloads folder, and I inserted a text box right up here. And then we just dragged it onto.
Use the chat or unmute to let us know if you're not seeing stuff. So
Yeah,
as we move
please.
on, because
I don't want you to
yeah,
miss
we
out.
don't want you to miss.
A lot of times what I do is I connect to my phone. I should have done that. That way I can see what everyone else is saying. So anyway, that was Unsplash. That's Unsplash that we looked at. So I'm going to do, maybe that's what I should do is
I can do that.
share my screen instead of sharing the window. Let me
I'll log on so I can keep an eye on it if you want.
make sure that I have everything. All right, I'm going to stop the share here for a second, guys. We're going to try to make this a little bit easier for us, for you and for us. So Unsplash is one of them, right? Unsplash, there's
I just added. You should see my phone.
oh yeah, that was Sherry, I think, from a while ago. I never opened it.
That other Bellingham Libraries, will you let me in?
Okey
Is that me? Let me make sure, let me see if that's me, if I just.
Yep, you're in.
That's me, okay.
You're in.
I'll stop that. I'll monitor what's on the screen. Okay,
All
so when
right.
you're sharing, I'll make sure there's something there.
Okay, good. So. Zoom's coming up in the middle of my Zoom call to tell me it wants to update my Zoom client. No, thank you. We're not going to do that today. All right, so we will share that screen. So hopefully it'll work when I change the stuff. Okay. Awesome. All right, so that is Unsplash. Again, I'll send you all the links too. But I can just simply search up here for whatever it is I'm looking for. So for me, learning. Let's see if I can, what comes up with learning technology. It's amazing too, how like like the number of results you can get with just a little bit of text in there. Look at that. Learning
And they're
about-
really high quality.
Yeah, and they are. They're
Yeah.
high quality, high resolution images that really, really look good in on your marketing pieces. So in this one, like I said, I didn't even have to create an account. It just lets me download them. But the majority of them, here's another one. This is a really popular one. This one is Pixabay. So a lot of folks use this one. And again, they've got the free, let's see what comes up when we look at learning technology at Pixabay. And you'll see some of the same images at multiple sites because a lot of the contributors will contribute their art to multiple sites. And that one's a really cool one, right? Some of these are really good images. I don't know how, how do they match this one to what to learning technology? Now, technology was in the keyword is what it's going, but I mean, some good images, online education, how'd that one come up with? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I love that one. That one's awesome. So, these, and again, I can click on these. And notice no background. When you see the checkerboard, if that's what I call it, and that means that it's an image without a background. And that's one of the things that you can do in Canva too, by the way, is remove your background. So we'll look at that. But here again, I'm able to do a free download, but this one does want me to log in, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I thought so. I am, I think, already logged in as use my Google account. So you can, when you use this, you can go in, you can say log in. If you have Gmail, you can say use my Google account and it'll log you in with your Gmail. You don't have to do anything else. As long as you're logged into Gmail, it'll log you right in like it just did for me. If you're not logged into Gmail, it will bring up your Gmail login, ask you for those credentials, and then it'll bring you right in just like it did here. Okay, so some of them will require you create an account, some of them, others will not, but again, they'll all have at least the free version. So you'll be able to, there'll be probably as many images as you can use on the free account. Okay, certain images though, and they'll be designated. Like if I go back here, you'll see the ones, they'll come up and tell you that it requires a paid account or a pro account, whatever they call it on the platform that you're on, for certain images. And those might be the, images that the artist is selling or whatever the case is. Now there's also, I didn't bring this one up in my browser though, and I think I have it here in a separate document. There is a new one that I just found out about. I think I might have it open in another browser. Let's see if I can find it. So there's a big thing about artificial intelligence, right? And virtual reality, of course. And have you guys all heard about the chat GPT?
Yeah.
Did we talk about this before? Well, there's one for imagery now. So you can type in what you want and it will use artificial intelligence to find that image for you.
Or to make an image, is it to make it or find it?
It will find it or it will. So here it's all right. I did have it open in that other browser. So let's bring it open. Let's open another tab here. So this is Shutterstock. This is another one of those free, but here, This one uses AI. So I was trying to, we were doing, I'm on a, I have done browser extensions here. So this one I'm on a committee that we're doing a conference, and the conference director wanted what he said to us is that, all right, it was very complicated. I want a picture of a learner who's like in the shadows or in the dark, but then all of a sudden he's inspired by his instructor and on comes the light. You know what I mean? So that's what we searched for. We did a whole bunch of different kinds of like different texts that we put in here. But if you can see here, I tried I don't know, all sorts of different types of texts in there. And you can see some of the images that came up.
So those are the ones you created with the
These are the images that
okay.
came up when I used that description.
Okay.
And then there were some other alternatives. I think these are pretty much unrelated to what I was asking for, but it's very interesting what comes up. Just with the artificial intelligence, it's crazy. It's so advanced. So for me here, let's see if I wanted to do, let's see what comes up if we say learning technology. So it's generating. Why does that keep coming up? Goodness.
So does this mean that all of Shutterstock has gone to this, or you can still search images?
Oh, you can still.
Search, okay, this is just
Yeah, this is just a feature of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So here again, it's using the AI to come up.
That's great.
And isn't that, it's so cool.
Look at that fifth one there, the colorful one. I don't know what that is. Evolve.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Like this.
So how do you get into that feature?
It was just, it looked like it was on the homepage.
Yeah, so if you go into, if you go to Shutterstock, and go to your images, whoops, I clicked it instead of pointed. It's an option right under your images now. So, but you still have here, you're still here with so this is another one where you can get some free or paid images. So I can just search my stock images, so I can do it here too. Or look at my globe or whatever it is. And again, I'll be able to download. And see, it's suggesting it for you now. So if I want to turn it on, I can turn it on right here and it'll use it for everything. So I think that just got added a couple of months ago, I want to say, but don't quote me on the time frame. I'm really bad. Things go by fast. But yeah, so really, really cool stuff. Oh, I love this one too.
Yeah. So it's a book and a laptop.
A book and a laptop, and yeah, that's super, super cool. So again, certain ones are going to be available for free. So if I want to download this one, here's my download button.
Buy and that says buy in.
This one is a purchase. Okay, so you'll know exactly whether or not you can download it or not for free.
I think within the search bar, there's a way to say select free images.
Yep.
Somewhere within.
Yep. So right here, you've got different types of images. Okay. And then there are other filters over here. And there is, where is the one that's the free option? It might be up here now.
Is there any time frame?
Yeah, there used to be a way to fill it.
Yeah,
Oh, quite popular.
Oh, yeah,
Is that
yeah.
it? That's probably. There she go.
Where did they move that
They
to?
don't want you to know what the.
They don't want you to know what the free stuff is, right? Oh, I'll make sure I find that. But yeah, it's gonna be obvious, like it just was, that if it's a purchase or not.
Once we buy it, is it ours, right?
If you purchase that, yes, you can download those and that's your image to use.
There's no time frame.
There's no time limit as far as I know. But certain images might have different terms and conditions, so, but they're always going to explain it to you when you hit that download button. So just make sure you read it when you do the download. So there's Shutterstock. Let's see, where's the other? I got a couple other ones over here. So we looked at Pixabay, right? Did I already show you that one? Yeah. And Free Pick. Oh, can I please tell you a story? And it's a really embarrassing story, and I'm really glad. So this is like for anyone who does this for a living. Anything can go wrong, right? And you know, you can have excellent nights, you can have not so excellent nights, but no matter what, I always go over the content before. Okay. And I'm really glad I did, because I made a typographical error when I made my links. I put Free Pick with a C instead of a K. And please, people, do not visit the website Free Pick with a C.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
And thank God, again, that I do, you know, I always practice before I get, because I can't even imagine having clicked that in this room tonight. So that's my lesson for you tonight. If we get nothing else, practice before you get in front of people. All right. So, okay. So there's that. And then, so this is Free Pick. There's, there are vectors, there's photos, there's icons, there's all sorts of different things you can search for. And actually, most of these will do the same thing. So if you want to, this has just got the sunflower I was looking for earlier. I'm playing around with it already. So these are your icons. Uh-huh. You know, it looks like a little emoji. Okay. And again, some of these are, notice it's showing ads, right? So here's some other assets for you. So all sorts of cool stuff. And here you can filter the free versus the premium content. So if I want to utilize one of these, so these have some nice little like built-in flyers, or and here's I can add it to a collection, and then I can download those. So there's all sorts of different resources for the images. All right, this one you do have to create an account to download. Okay, but here I can use the Google the Google account like we said earlier, or I can go with my Facebook account if I want it, or I can create one with my email account. So I don't know, some people create like a dummy email account. And we'll use the dummy email account to create these types of accounts. That way you're not, because typically when you're signing up for a free account, you're gonna get the update emails and you're gonna start getting marketing emails from them. So if you don't want them to crowd up your inbox, then you can, maybe create a Gmail account or a separate Gmail account or whatever and log in with that. So that one's Free Pick. And then there's Pexels. That's another one. They all say they're the best. And some of them, some of them are integrated too. Like, okay, all right, Pixabay is going to take over Pexels, or not that they do, but every now and then they'll merge together, So here we'll stick with our. So they're all very similar. So there again are my pictures, and they all have that familiar download button. And again, they want you to.
That one says, so that one says you can make a donation to her if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to.
Yeah. So you can send her some money if you want to. Otherwise, you can just you have to give her credit, right?
Right. Yeah.
And notice that they've integrated with Canva. So I can take this image and put it right into Canva and start creating something with it, which is very, very
Canva
cool.
They have quite a few images. Their images are good.
They absolutely do. All right. And we looked at this one. This is the Shutterstock and the AI. Okay, so Canva. Canva.com. Can't say enough about this. It's so cool. There are so many different free designs you can do, and you see when you come in here, I am already logged in.
Is there a limit if you have a free account, probably how much space you can take up? Is that how it works, or is it?
Not that I've come across yet.
Okay, because we have a library, we have a paid account for the library.
Yeah, so I create a lot of stuff in here now. I mean, maybe not as much as some other folks do, but I have not come across that. But there are, again, certain templates and certain objects that I can't get with a free account. I do have to have the pro account.
That happened to us. Originally, we had a free account.
Yeah,
And, you know, there'd be these really nice graphics, but yeah.
yeah. No,
So
no.
we paid for it, because it really does, it makes our social media awesome all the time.
It makes
Every
it so
day,
much nicer.
every day we're using something in Canva, so it's a.
Yeah. So you guys are experts on Canva, so. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different things I can create. If you can see right here. It gives me a bunch of suggestions. Okay, and then it shows me all my recent designs. Yeah, because I created that right here. I created my business card for the band right here. Oh, I created my logo right. Although I ended up tweaking it and using something a little bit different. But here I created, this was a ticket and a flyer for a benefit we did in town a couple months ago. So all sorts of stuff I can create. And then it has, documents, whiteboards, presentations, your social media. So if I click on this, for example, it shows me everything that's popular. So what's everybody else using, which is kind of cool. And then it gives you all these little tips. And then you can pick between your Instagram, your Facebook, because your and again, we said, depending on where you're putting whatever image or collateral that you're creating, that will dictate how it's created. Because again, your Instagram, your posts are square versus Facebook, which is, more like the widescreen video, 16:9, if you will, or so you can see it's got them right here. I mean, if I want to do an Instagram ad or an Instagram post, I've got my square, but if I want to do a story or a reel, that's going to show me my video, right? I've got animated. All right, so you've got all sorts of templates that you can create, or you can start from scratch. That gives me LinkedIn post suggestions. And it's got them all a whole bunch of templates all built in. So let's say you're doing a craft show this weekend, and anyone who comes in on Saturday is going to get 25% off. Look, there's a 25% off right there. So if I click on that, I can create. I thought I turned off all of these annoying things, but they keep popping up on me. Note to self, turn it's not enough to turn them off. I guess I have to uninstall everything. So this is a one-page ad it brings in. And all of the objects here, I can modify. And you can see how it has the little animation, right? So it's not just a static image. So we mentioned about how video captures attention a lot. This is a little tiny video is what it's going to end up being. So if I want to put, here's my website over here, this weekend only, I can change the colors. So here's my color scheme. So notice how it's coming up with the color scheme. It's this color palette that matches that image. Okay, now I'm not stuck with just those, but it is going to default to the images that kind of match the scheme.
And sometimes it's best to trust the designers because they know what they're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty though. I like that, Grant. I like that.
Yeah.
Yellow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got the gradient ones. So, and obviously the themes that it gives you it's going to vary depending on which template that you're selecting, of course. All right.
So you could change that this weekend to, Thursday and Friday, or whatever you wanted it to be, right? Yeah.
Yep, so in there,
Okay,
there's
so
your
whatever,
text
yeah.
box, right? So instead of this weekend. And again, these are all, I mean, elements, I can move them around. I'm not stuck with them. And see, this one gives me very obvious guides. See it? See how it's lining it up with the square. It's gonna center it there. Okay, so it does give me the nice guidelines. And they're very obvious. All right, and that's the so
I mean, there you can put your company name on one of those and your
Yep.
URL on the other.
get everything. Yeah, let's see what- I think I made an error in there, but you get the point.
That's it. Yeah, we get the point.
So, I mean, that quickly, we created something that I can put on my social page, letting everybody know that I'm gonna have a sale on my products this Thursday and Friday. Now, if I'm happy with this just the way it is, then I'm gonna, right now it's 7.6 seconds. Okay. I hit the play and that's gonna show me how it looks.
7.6, what is it is?
7.6 seconds. Yeah, so here, see if I play it,
Okay,
it's gonna look like a 7.6 second video.
Flashing.
Now, if I want to, I could have downloaded it right there, of course. Here are some other, if I wanted to do some text formatting there, I could do that. But if I want to share it, here's where I can download it. I can put it on Facebook. I can get a link for it. Okay. But what I like to do, because I want this on my hard drive. So I can put this wherever I want to. So I want to download it. 99.9% of the time, that's what I'm doing. I'm downloading it. All right. So it's going to typically, if it's a video, it's going to suggest an MP4. But I can do others. All right. So if I want it, I can make it a GIF, depending on who's talking to. If it's a GIF or a GIF, right? And that would be perfect probably for something like this, because it's not a video per se, right? It is indeed a short clip, and we don't have any sound on it. I could put sound on it, and I'll show you that in a minute. But so in this case, maybe a GIF is a good way to go. All right, and here I can adjust the size of it, not on the GIF actually, but on the if I go back, let's say I'm going to go to the quality of the video. It's not going to let me show you. Oh, that is a Canva Pro thing. Yeah, Canva Pro. So I like the video or
And that's the little crown says that, right?
The little crown.
That little crown tells you that it's a feature you don't have. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, so I can't change it on the GIF either because I need the Pro. But I can download this way, right? Now it looks like I have to register. Okay, it is, if I don't have an account, it is going to ask me. It is going to ask me to sign up for an account, but I don't need to. This is advertising. It's doing advertising down the bottom for upcoming events or updates to the product or whatever. That's an ad, and that's always going to come up. Almost always, I think. So it's going to download that, and then I can put that wherever I like. Download it down. Almost done. All right, so now I have my little video that I can use wherever I like. Now, while that's doing that, up here is where I can name my little project. It gave its own name to it. So if I want this to be my 25% off ad, March 23.
I can change that. And that way it'll show up. That's how it's gonna show up. All right, it's all done. Okay, so let's download that. Okay. So we already saw what it looks like, but there it is. And again, now it's a file on my computer that I am able to put wherever I want.
Now, if I wanted that to be a print flyer, because I wanted to put it in my store or on my whatever,
I could do that too. That was one of the options. So I could have done a PDF. Yeah. Obviously, it's not going to be animated, but it's going to be a nice little print flyer that you can hang up in your store or whatever it is you want to do.
I think what's great about Canva is now you have that original file there. I do a lot of times, like I'll give you an example. I'm on the historical commission and we had an event that was in January and it's just the historical commission discussion group with the date. I can just go in and change the date and use the same, and you have some continuity of your content too, which I think is really a nice feature. So you don't have to, create something from scratch if you're doing something similar.
Yeah.
So if you do a 25% off sale 4 times a year, you can just use this over and over.
Yep, exactly. And you saw like if this is our spring sale and then we're going to do a fall sale or whatever, I want to change my color scheme from a spring looking color, that was where we could come into those, colors again. And, okay, here's my fall sale. So maybe I'm going to go, and I'm going to make it look a little bit more like this with one little click, I can make it look a little bit different, whatever.
What about the one about the golden?
There you go. That one, that's a good one. There you go. Now I can get a little bit even, I mean, see here?
Yeah.
This one,
Too pink.
let's see. I think I can change. Look. Let's see, there's the color on that.
Once we download it, can we change to any format?
Once you download, can you change to any format? So once you have it's going to download, depends on how I download it, right? I download it as an MP4, it's a video file. I can do whatever I want with it. Like, so if I want to upload it into my Camtasia, or if I want to do video editing here in I can do that. Depending on what kind of video editor I have, or if I download it as an image file, it'll depend on what I
Can
have.
we change it?
Yeah, I mean, change
Image, you could change it in like,
Paint or photo editor,
Photoshop or
Photoshop. And if you have Photoshop, there's all sorts of things you can do with it, right?
It's way easier to change it in here than in Photoshop.
It is, yeah, I will agree. It's way easier in here, so. So that's just one example. Now, let's if I'm gonna go back to design. Let's go back. So save. I'll close these folders down. So I want to open it. My video steps. All right. We can start from scratch. So if I go up to the top and I create a design, okay, say I have all those options, I can do a whiteboard, I can do Facebook post, I can create a flyer. What about a logo? Anybody need to create a logo? So this is a logo 500 by 500, so it's a square logo that it's going to create.
We like to make up a business, or does someone have?
So I was just gonna,
Yeah.
that's what I was just gonna ask. Does anybody have a business, their business name, or want to create a logo? Give us some ideas. What, anyone? No, okay.
Let's think of an idea.
Let's think. What, anybody have an idea?
What's our business?
What do we want to do? Do you want to be?
We're house cleaners.
All right,
We're gonna be house.
we're gonna be
cleaners.
house cleaners.
I'm just
Awesome.
curious what we can come up with.
There we go. Do you know I need my house cleaned? Is that
Who
what-
doesn't?
All right, so I clicked on logo, so it's automatically showing me logo templates, of course. So if I scroll down here, I can find one that I might like. I can search up here, like cleaning. And look, it's gonna show me all sorts of cleaning logos. Now, these here, there's our little
Yeah.
crown.
Yeah.
So you can see which ones I need the pro account to use. But these are all already done for me. So if I wanted to start with this, I could start with this, or I could go, this one here, it's got 2 pages for me. So I've got 2 different colors. They're very cool, right? So I can apply both pages if I want the color to the right. All right. Look at, there's all sorts of them here, or I could just start from.
And then that one that says clean home, you could go in and change that to like,
Yep.
Bernadette's cleaning service or whatever.
So let's do it. So we'll apply both of those pages. So now we've got page 1, which is your white background, and page 2, which is the colored one. So yeah, I can come in here and we could say. All right, now. Here again, we're gonna have to adjust everything because. I can make it bigger. I can move it, I can change the size of the text, which is probably what I want to do, right?
"24/7.
Right,
Oh,
right, oh, it already says cleaning service, so I didn't really need that there, right?
but you could change the cleaning service one to say something else, like
Yeah.
a tagline or a, yeah.
Yeah. So, and here again, I mean, here's the object, right? There's the little image, the collateral there with the colors. And again, I can adjust the colors. Okay, now I clicked on this one, right? See how it's got this one? So what's going to happen is I'm going to replace, if I select the color, it's going to replace that color with the one that I select. Say,
I like that better.
hmm. So each color is separate, so I can change each one individually, but anything that is that color is going to change to whatever I select. All right, and I didn't mention it, but the same thing with the text color, right? So the text color I can change.
And the little stars, I assume you can change the color on those little things.
Yeah. And see, it shows me the recently used colors. So if I want to stay consistent, then I'm able to find that magenta easily. Okay. And yeah, each one of those little images is a separate little asset, if you will. So here again, if I want everything to match, I can use my recently used colors.
Don't call me.
All right, so there's that. And then again, if I wanted to do the same thing down here.
Would it be easier if you made one and then just copied it to the second?
In this case, it
Yeah.
probably would have
Yeah.
been, yes. If you're gonna do a lot of changing of that, yes. If you're gonna do the change of colors and stuff like that, yes, it would, and it would have
If you want
absolutely been.
consistency.
Yep, so here I could do this. Right, because I made more changes than I thought I was gonna do, so let's do this, and let's copy it. All right,
And then you can make the
and
background.
then I can make it, yeah. So if I
Okay.
wanted to make that background color different.
I like that.
So now. I've got my logo, right? Let's say, so up here again, I'm gonna share it. And I'll download it. So it usually knows what you want. So it's gonna suggest the file format that you most likely want. So here it's suggesting that PNG format. And again, it's not gonna let you change unless you have the Pro. So if I want one or, if I want
all the pages, it's gonna do that by default, but if I only want one or the other. Uh-oh. What did I put on there that has premium? Oh, the images in my thing are premium images. No kidding.
So you can't
Wow,
download it.
we missed that.
Yeah.
I don't know how we missed that.
The images with the.
The stars in this
Oh.
right here, it says, well, that was silly. It didn't say it had pro content on it. That was very misleading.
If you want the lady above, if the one above looks like a clean, she looks like she's ready to clean some.
Yes, she does.
Like,
Oh,
let's just have her. Just
replace current. We'll replace
There we
that
go.
page. There we go.
I don't understand why,
So it said that this image and these little stars were
paid. They're not
paid images.
okay,
They put paid images on a free template, so they tricked us.
because they want you to spend the time designing it and say, oh, I really like that.
I really mean, yeah. Now, would it let me have done it with the watermarks? Oh, this one's a premium image too. It's tricking us.
It's weird. They don't have this.
So you can download a free, but it's gonna be watermarked,
Yeah.
which means it's gonna have a Canva, like a Canva image over it, and you're not gonna.
But I would say, once I saw that, okay, I like that house, I could just import the picture of a house from somewhere. And it wouldn't be that exact house, but I could put a picture of a house and then
Mhm,
kind of wing it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, so I could actually just take that off. Take all of them off. They tricked us.
That was a little deceptive.
That was very
Yes.
deceptive.
Because the other ones are obviously paid ones.
Yeah,
So then you could just search for the picture of a house somewhere.
Yeah.
For
so here are all of my elements. So if I wanted to find one of these, this is photos, this is everything, so if I wanted to do. Yeah, house. I've got graphics, I've got photos, I've got videos. All right, frames, I could frame it. That's kind of cool. So like if I wanted to do this. I could like
Okay.
frame the whole thing as, with the house frame, but like. Just like that. It's bigger. So.
Yeah.
And then just make them bigger and more center them
Yeah.
or whatever it is I want to do with that.
There are a lot of graphics within there to do a lot of things with, but that's, yeah, if you get an idea, you like from the paid ones, you kind of just.
Yep, you see what you can find to make
yeah,
it work,
make it
right?
work.
With the contact, obviously, we need contact, information in their website, all that stuff. Or, again, I could have taken one of these little graphics, I can see them all. Go on one of those. Now, here,
There are two of them there?
oh, I do, yep, I hit it twice, so let's get rid of one of those. I'm gonna get rid of that one in the background too, so here. I can arrange it so that it's either on top or on the bottom. Front to back is really what it is. So if I want to send this backwards, whoops. Yeah. So if I arrange it, send it back. You see how I brought that on top of the image? And then you can, again, you can change the transparency of the image if it were. Now, these two images aren't working real well together. But I think you're getting the point. So what, if I need to put one on top of the other, again, I can, change the transparency, but definitely no, these are not working together. This one is a too busy image, but again, I think you get the point. So right clicking will give you a lot of the options, okay? Let's
And there
see.
must be, there's tutorials within Canva on how to do all of this too, yeah. that's-
Yeah, So here I could replace the background on the image if I want to.
You should bring the name down.
I can
guess.
bring that
Yeah,
name down, and of course, and this,
Yeah.
obviously that my color schemes
Right.
don't work with this new image or anything.
Yeah.
But you can just get an idea of what all the different things that you can do with it. But yeah, there's a lot of assets right in here, and I'm able to upload my own. So like if I wanted to upload my. So you can see I uploaded that, these are images I used in some of the flyers that I created. You can see the Bellingham music, you can see some of the other things that I did. So yeah, I can create, let's start with something brand new. I'm gonna delete. Start from scratch. So we're empty here. So I'm gonna go to my uploads. Okay, I can put that in there. Okay. And again, if I want, I can change this for the background. Whoops. No, I want the background. Looks like I cut off my circle a little bit. That's all right.
It's hammered.
I love it. Yep, it's hammered, all right. So, but you get the point, right? So I can upload anything now if I want to. If it's on my hard drive, I come into my uploads, hit upload, find it on the hard drive, and add it to the library, right? So when we download our 25%, of course, that's already in here. Let's do. Let's let me create. All right. So there that is, of course, that's the idea. Let's find a square. There's the image we had downloaded from the before, right? Yeah, twice.
I do that all the time when I import the images.
See, I just did it again,
I-
because we're used to double clicking,
Yeah, you don't need to double.
and you don't double click anymore. That's, I guess. The old way of doing it, but yeah, I do it all the time. So anything any asset that I have on my hard drive, I can use it on anything. All right, and then I actually created my business cards on here too. So that was another thing that we have. If I go back home. Kind of hoping when I go over to FlixPress, it's going to be off because FlixPress is the best. So it's just another template that's on here that I use to create business cards. Now, honestly, the business cards for Acuity Learning and Technology, I'm actually gonna send them out. I created them on here. I'm not gonna print them myself, but the ones for our band I created here and I print them on my own printer.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I have the paper in my briefcase. It's just an Avery label that I bought at Staples. And
I print the library business cards I just buy the business cards from Staples and
yeah,
I print them in-house.
yeah.
Because we don't need 500, you send out, you need like 500 and that will last us two
Yeah.
lifetimes. I print 20 or 30 at a time.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah, so even when I was working full-time, that's what they do. They bought them in like 250, 500. I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah.
So I'm not walking around handing my card out like 5-10 times a day. So yeah, I'll let you. Okay. So. If I go under templates. Even more than what we already saw. Because up at the top, it's the most popular one. So come in here, here's the business cards. So that's all I did. And they have all sorts of templates too. So like right up here, I can search what type of business I'm looking for. Like, so we were music. So here we go, look up music. And then I had all sorts of different ideas to work with to create the business card. And again, the crown, we can see that the crown, hopefully, I went through a few of these and I did not come up with any. You said they had premium images, so hopefully, but I mean, here again, it gives me all sorts of nice idea. Here's a paid one. That one's tricky.
Yeah.
It's paid. It doesn't matter whether you have pro or not.
Yeah.
There are paid elements on it. See, it didn't say that on the other ones though, did it? Or did we miss it? I don't think it did.
I didn't see it on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, just like the other ones, I mean, I can grab one of these. This one doesn't say paid, no.
Pretty soon, yeah.
No, I can see that one that I created. That's kind of cool. I like that one. But here, I mean, it shows it to me. If I want to customize it, I can customize it.
Back.
Yeah, so there's some that are two-sided cards, some that are the one-sided cards, depends on what you want. That one was a two-sided one, so it'll be the 2 pages. I don't know why it's so slow. I guess I can close some of my free picture sites out. Yeah, that'll help.
And if you don't like that green, you could change the color of the background. Right?
Yep. Yeah, so just like we did before, all your elements are up here. So yeah, you don't like it, you can change it. And if you don't like the ones it's showing, you can come in here and you can find the one you like.
Actually, I like what the green and the purple is.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it? So, just hit the plus sign if there's one that you don't. If there's, you want to pick one that you don't see. And then see here, it'll change every instance of that color to the purple. And let's see, I think I found a couple of them. Yeah. So, and again, if I want, I've got your colors over here. So there's my guitar. So if I wanted to change that to match, different.
Is the purple color there?
Oh, I don't like that.
No, the purple, I think it's up there on the toolbar above edit image. Is the purple color there? Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
That one, yeah, that one's better. And then this one was a slightly different green. Oh, we don't want to do that though, do we? Because now we just lost our whole guitar. That's why it's different color.
Maybe make that one white. Yeah, it's a really good guitar. Well, that's weird. Undo.
Right? So, but I could do that, right? Oops. No.
With his guitar as it did before.
All right, let's go back over.
I think it's that off-white color, the one.
Yeah, it's this one right here, right?
Yeah.
So if we change that. Wait a minute.
Yellow.
If you click on the bridge of the.
Oh, it's
color,
this
the
one
bridge,
I
yeah, the
need,
bridge
the
one.
white one I want to change to
Right, that
that one,
there we go.
much better.
Yeah.
See, so that's very cool, and then I can do something. Background, purple color. Yeah, that's nice. Get back to our colors. So I could change the. Color to match. Didn't bring up our suggested colors this time, though, did I? Because it's on the second page. I can just. Oop. See this right here? This allows you to pick a color. So if I want to pick this one, right? Is it gonna put it there for me? No. Ah,
Nope, it's back on the other one.
let's try
You have to
that.
memorize the number.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. So, yeah, do that again. We did it backwards. Okay, pick.
Come back to purple.
Undo. Say that undo is the best, right? So we're gonna make that one.
Can you just highlight the other Don Robin and then hit the off-white color? Just do that.
I should be able to do that now, right? There it is.
Yeah, I think that's.
And that's better.
Yeah.
I think that looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Don and Robin,
Yeah.
but Hannah Morales is their manager. But so obviously then I come in here and I do my website. So that's the email address. Hello. At. Oh, I just totally wiped it out. So whatever it is. Website.com, blah, blah, blah. All right, and then. So here's what I did. I ended up saving mine as an image. And I don't know how you guys do yours, but I saved mine as an image. And then I opened the business card template
Template and pasted it.
and pasted them in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, so now I'll save it there. And I can actually show you, I closed it, but I can pull up how it looks. There it is. Actually, I have my Acuity one already open.
Sorry.
And of course, it's on this screen. We'll bring it over to the screen for you to see it. And hopefully our folks at home are seeing this because I shared the screen and not just the thing. So, but yeah, so then I just pasted it in. So that's page 1, right? Because mine are 2 pagers. And then page 2, I copied the backside.
Just your logo.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
And then if you have if you have a printer that does double-sided printing, they don't have to do anything, just stick it in the right way. If not, you print your page 1s and then you go in, you flip it over, you print your page 2s. All right, so let's see if we can get our FlixPress to work. So this is one of my favorite sites to use to create content for social media. Because those little videos that I showed you at the beginning, that I show at the beginning of my online classes that I used for social, they're all created in here. And I hope to God that it lets me. I've been trying all day and it hasn't worked.
Wait, it's.
So when I clicked that this morning, I immediately noticed. Bummer. So earlier when I came in, when I clicked the login, it gave me an error right away. So I thought.
Could you log in with your Gmail just there, but you'll
Yeah,
leave password?
didn't
No.
work earlier.
You give an extra letter there. It's just Bev Pi,
Yeah, no, that was,
Bev G.
yeah,
Okay.
on that one there.
Okay.
But it didn't recognize this at all this morning.
So we want to create a new account for me?
Tried that too.
You guys didn't work?
I tried that too, and I'm so
Okay.
upset about it.
I'll take a new account if we need one.
Because I even tried to get to their support, like if you go to
Yeah.
support.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Let's see if it works now. No, you can never go into their support. I got errors trying to email their support.
They got issues.
They've got some huge problems today, and I'm really upset about it. Of all days for it to mess up, because this one is so cool. But there's also, there's VidQuick, there's a couple of other ones, and some of them, they're made specifically for the mobile. So for your phone and doing video on the phone. And those are things I will actually, I'll actually show some of those in the session that we're doing on video.
It's not letting me with my.
Not
Gmail
letting
either.
you either.
Not letting me.
So I even tried to create a new account earlier. I'll try that one more time.
Yeah.
Cause see right here, get started for free. Watch what happens. It brings me right back to the same page. So then I go down here and I start looking, right? It says, all right, get started, sign up now. Okay, let's do it. Brings me right back to the home page.
Yeah.
So I can't even see
Yeah.
all of my assets
Yeah.
that I created. So anyway, hopefully, what, tomorrow it'll be fine, right? But I said, you know, if you have time to check it out, definitely check it out. The free account, it allows you to create short videos, like I think it's 2 minutes tops, okay? And it says it limits you to like 4 minutes a month. It's never limited me, but the videos I create are typically like seconds long. So it's quite possible I could have gone a whole month without reaching 2 minutes, but it seems doubtful. But yeah, I can.
So you're
Create
basically
them.
making them with your phone.
I'm making them with, so what this does is, all right, actually, it will let me show you the templates, because it did let me do that. So it has automated templates already built in, and you can insert your own text, your own photos to make them really cool. So, I can't open it big, but I
I start calling it into mycompany.com.
Yeah, and that image can be my image. So, and they're all a little, some of them are a little longer than others. Like I've used this one before. This one takes, I think, one image. Was it one image at the end, or was it just text? But yeah, some of them, it's just. So here you can see this one. This one will take an image and a few lines of text, and this one's 30 seconds. This one's a little bit longer. But they come out really, really nice. And they're like, they just set you apart a little bit different, you know, you look on your social. So here's another one. Flashes and supported, yeah, so you want to stay away from the ones that say that they require flash, because they're pretty much useless. But
So there's categories. It says free, personal, plan free, plan expert, plan personal. Like
Yeah.
on the bottom, so there's different categories.
There's
So you
different-
probably want to look for the free
you
one.
want to do the free ones for sure. Yeah, and actually you can I should
Free plan.
have free plan templates right here. And there's, you know, quite a few of them. And this one, I like this one. I use this one a lot. In modify, they've got all sorts of different music that you can choose from. So there's a bunch of different styles. So if you want like the hard rocking ones, or the techno sounding, or the really calm sounding, or the cinematic music, or suspension building, like there's all different types of music that you can add to it as well. So they're pretty. Those, I think they're really eye-catching for, you know, like your social promotions, things like that. Because like I said, the video, it's so catchy and it catches people's eyes, and it does a really quick, the learning curve is really, really small. You'll have a video created in just a few minutes. So hopefully they'll bring the site back up soon. Really, I was gonna show you how fast that we could have put together a video. I mean, literally, it's less than 5 minutes. We could add a nice little video together and have it downloaded. The only thing about this one with the free account is that I always download them to my hard drive as a little MP4 because they don't stick around forever. They stay, I think it's 30 days, if I remember correctly, but after 30 days, they might disappear. So I always make sure I download them so that I have that MP4 file on my computer. Because they will disappear. So I'm really bummed out because there was going to be a nice little demo, and now I'm kind of like I'm a few minutes shy of content now because we can't actually build this for you.
And you know what I think, if I was. If you could just even go back to Canada and make like a Facebook event or something, just and I can give it can come up with something just to kind of show people. I think that's what a lot of people are doing, events, or they're doing, So
you want to do a post or do you want to do a flyer?
Let's do a post. A Facebook post. Let's do a Facebook post or an Instagram post, whatever, whichever one. Something that's people for. I think I know a lot of like crafty businesses. Social Instagram is more where they're going. So if we can do some kind of social media from scratch, and then what are we going to be selling now, Cecily? What are we going to be promoting?
So let's do a post on Instagram. We'll do a square. Should we do a square one? Yeah.
You know what? Why don't we just make one for the library's business expo that we're doing? Just like make an Instagram post for the okay, and we'll, even though we don't have our logo stuff, just for a conceptual idea of what we're going to do. So I would just enter business expo and see what comes up, right? If that's what you're doing.
Yeah. So let's see what kind of templates.
Like expo, job fair.
So some really nice ones already set up for us.
But so that career, if you do that career, say the career expo one.
That's a pro one. Which one? This one?
Oh, that's a pro one. Okay.
You got this one. That one's a
That
pro.
was a pro one, yeah. Just pick one. It comes in. That's the pro one too.
Is that a pro?
Yeah, that one's not. But let's join one is not. That one. So you could change that and say join. Take the let's word out, right?
Yep. Then we can do.
The library's business expo or something. Join. Okay, yeah, so this is that simple. And then the next line could be business expo.
Yeah.
You keep 2023 there because that was cool. And then you can just put the date below or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's that simple.
It's really, so we can do, so this is, it just has more information,
Yeah,
obviously, but so we can do, Bellingham Library.org.
Yeah.
And again, we can change all these colors, like you said, if we don't necessarily like the color scheme, we can, look at the colors over here. Again, we could change all of them to that red color.
I mean, it really is that simple. Then you download it and you upload it to, it's.
Yeah. And it's the cool with the text boxes. It typically will take, you don't have to necessarily highlight everything, but see, look at, say, just like that. Now we just changed the whole color scheme for the most part, right?
Yeah.
We didn't change the background, but we could even change that. I mean, if we wanted to make it white or we wanted to make it black, or I don't think,
Right.
black,
Black's kind of cool.
Black's kind of cool, right? Now, if you're gonna take this same thing and print it, obviously you probably don't want to do black,
Right.
but that works. I mean,
Social, right.
works for social media quite well.
That darker gray looks good, but the black was pretty awesome for.
That would be cool.
That's I like that. Yeah.
Now, if I wanted to animate this, we can animate it even though it wasn't originally animated. And so it gives me a few different combinations that I can utilize, see, and just that simple. Now it becomes a little video, so now it's catching somebody's eye, right? So I can pick, whichever ones I like.
That's cool, because that brings them in one section at a time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Now, if it's a little too fast, I can edit that timing a little bit, so it slows it down a little bit.
Amanda does some animating on our stuff.
Yeah, she
That's
does.
very cool.
Yeah, like I said, it makes it pretty simple to do it, and like I said, it does make it eye-catching. And then, you can change these down here too. So typically the animation happens at the beginning, or if you want to do it at the end, you can change it. So, either way.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's something that I learned because I didn't know that. I learned my one thing tonight. Well, I actually learned more. The Flixpress I know nothing about, and a lot of great photo resources.
So I think sometimes that's half the battle, knowing where to go to find stuff. They did a lot of those, and I didn't point it out because we typically talking about, graphics and not necessarily video, but a lot of them have free videos that you can download too. So if I go to Pexels or Pixabay, or you just change what you're looking for and it'll come up with videos. But yeah, that was real simple. We came up with that nice. And then again, you could go up here and share it, and then I can share it as the video, or I can go, this requires
A pro account.
So if I wanted to publish this to Instagram, I think it's gonna make me.
And we don't, even though we have a report account, we don't do that. We download all the things. So because sometimes you're using them more than once, you're doing, and then, we download everything.
I always download everything too. I like to have it local, and then you don't have to be connected to get to it too. And so a lot of times, like for me, I'll travel and I'll do a lot of work like on an airplane, or like in the wintertime, we go to Maine a lot, and I'll work from there, but the internet connection is sporadic. So like if I have a lot of that stuff local, I can open my Camtasia and I can do stuff with it,
Another thing that I find that Canvas, and this, I don't know how appropriate this is for businesses, but in our library world, someone will create something and they'll share it with all the libraries, so we can kind of just go in and put your own library name in it. So they do a meme or a flyer or something so you're not creating, you have to create something from scratch, like, they do a lot. I did a lot of Facebook groups, so they say, hey, we just ran this on our social media and it went really well. Here's the Canva template for you to just plug in your information.
That's great.
Which is, we're it's a different kind of world. Businesses are more competitive and not much sharing.
Yeah.
No bank is gonna say, hey, take my graphic and run it. But it's a great way to share things with people who are doing similar work. So if you are part of like PTOs or all those kind of groups that they can share things with other people.
Yeah.
It's a great resource.
I just said that because, there are actually, you said Facebook, of course, a lot of us use Facebook, and, I think we're all kind of in that demographic for Facebook, but the same thing goes for Instagram and other social. Look for people, other small business owners. I think I told you that Facebook has its own group for small business owners that gives you, tips on how to use Facebook for business. But I think you'll find that a lot of those, they will share, especially if it's a national group, you're talking to someone who might run the same kind of business, but they're like 3,000 miles away. Right. So you're not a competitor of theirs at all. So they're going to be more than happy to give you some that, hey, this is great for us here. And I find it in the real estate world, the real estate education world, maybe not necessarily for real estate licensees as much, because there's a lot of competition there. But in the education world, in the training world, they're always willing to share. Like I'm always saying, hey, I've used this in this campaign or in this course, and feel free to change the branding and use it. And I've had folks do the same thing for me. You're not always going to do that though, because obviously some of it belongs to you, and
right.
you want to keep it as your own IP. But I find to get a lot of support from the online groups. I belong to a lot of them for all different things. I belong to them for, many business things. I have, a coaching group that I belong to. I have the real estate educators group that I belong to. I belong to a tech trainer group, but I also belong to like 4 different snowmobile groups. I belong to,
Yeah.
a boating group that my husband's a boater. So,
Yeah.
and you learn so much stuff from those groups that, I find them invaluable, to be honest with you. LinkedIn is another really good place that I get, that I grabbed into groups on, because that's all professional, obviously.
Yeah.
So you never get the junk, that you sometimes get in your Facebook groups. You don't get that in LinkedIn.
Mhm.
So I got a lot of good resources from there too. So yeah, I'm disappointed FlixPress wasn't up for us.
Yeah.
But I hope it will be tomorrow. This is one thing I didn't mention is the cool, like I said, you said the same thing, Bernie, that I like to download them because I like to be able to have them locally on my, I have this thing. I'm getting over it. And I think it's my
Cloud things on the cloud.
yes, like for the longest time, I wasn't gonna put it there.
Yeah.
I didn't want anyone looking at it. And then I'm like, well, what if it gets lost? And what if I can't? I'm getting over it, because you know what? It is really, really convenient
Mhm.
to be able to share it with others and to be able to go
and get it
anywhere.
there and get it. Yeah.
So I bought a new laptop for my business. And I'm slowly getting everything out there, because I would love to be able to take that one, but I haven't quite gotten all of my stuff on it yet. So that I find is perfect for that. And like you say, I can get stuff on my phone. I can get it on either one of my laptops. I can get it on my iPad, and I can copy links and share it with anyone I want to share it with.
And that kind of is a segue to your next workshop
Right.
on Google Drive and Microsoft Office, because obviously if you have Microsoft Office, you get the Microsoft OneDrive too, which also gives you another place to save things in the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And they all, they all also free and paid versions. So
Right.
we'll talk about that at that next session. But so hopefully you got something out of today. Despite our difficulty with FlixPress, that's a bummer. But what I could do, and that's what I will do. It may take me a week or so. I won't be able to do it in the next couple of days. But if it comes back up in the next few days, I'll record a little video
Oh, that'd be great.
of me, building a little project. And like I said, it doesn't take long. I mean,
Right.
in less than 5 minutes, you can have something looking pretty good when the site begins.
And then we can
So-
just add it, because so we are adding these videos to our website. I haven't actually got the other one up yet. It's on YouTube, but I haven't actually put it on the website yet, but I'll do that. And under each category, so the one we did last week was social media for business, I'll have the video and I have your PowerPoint. So we can put whatever links for this one, under each course, we can put what all the supplemental things, so we can add the video whenever you get it done. That would be great.
Awesome. Okay. So here I'm going to show my little image here from last week, although these I think are social media ones, but
Well, they're kind of on marketing.
But they're
Yeah,
kind of
I input graphics. I don't know that we have a great graphics design courses in Universal Class. I don't really think there was anything specifically for graphic design. So, and if it is, it's probably what's that? The photo editor,
Adobe.
Adobe. Photoshop.
Photoshop is paid. It can be, it's kind of expensive, and it's a huge learning curve. I mean, once you learn it, it's fabulous. But
Lots of layers
it's a
and lots
pretty
of-
good, the layers, and you gotta learn all that stuff. But so the universal class is available to all of us as Bellingham Library patrons.
Yeah.
It's all for free. They have some, awesome classes. So if you want to say more, I don't know if you
Yeah,
want to.
I just think it's a great resource for not only for the stuff we're talking about now, but for things like accounting for your business, or dealing with employees, or there's just all kinds of great courses in there. So and then there's personal stuff. You want to take a yoga class, you want to take a I don't know, what else is in there, Cecily?
Sailing.
Sailing, yeah, right.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
I was gonna say basket weaving, but I don't really know if it's in there or not. So, but there are definitely crafty courses, and there's all kinds of things in there
That's great.
that are of interest. Yeah, how to start. Yeah, that's to start a business. Writing a business plan is in there, and that's a huge one.
Mhm.
If you're starting a business and you want to go to a bank for a loan, you better have a business plan.
Yeah.
So
It's great.
So thank you, Bev. That was really good. So designing is fun. It really is. It's a fun thing to play with, I think, when you're kind of trying to learn it.
It is, and you can get stuck in there for a while,
Yeah.
but it is fun. And but hopefully you got something out of it. And
I'll create a video for Flixpress.
That'd be great. Right,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.